look at what we did with it. Real life. Real life.
I think that we just holding on to something. I think that we just holding on to something. I think that we just holding on to something. Just tell me what's on.
Welcome to Underground Crypto Deep Dive Show. We're just looking at some news here. Of course, I think it is news to nobody what Bitcoin is doing right now. Welcome in, welcome in. Who all do we have in the chat? That one guy, Melissa, Copper Dude, waiting on Blues guy, right? Oh, there he is. I misspoke. We're just waiting on a few people to hop in. But let's go ahead and look at these crypto bubbles. Rain is like the only thing that's up. 13%. Nexo is up 4.2% from about 90 cents to 95 cents. And a lot of things are down. Zcash down 11 cents, or 11%, sorry, misspoke there. AB is also down 11.6%. Got Canton Network is down 5.9%. Aerodrome down 5.6%. After down 4.5%. Monero, Polygon, TIA, Near, Optimism, Sweet. A lot of things got hurt today. Let's go to our 101 to 200. And there's a little bit more green. Monad still doing its thing. On the day, it's up 13%. Looks like it pulled back in the hour. Merlin also still doing its thing. Still up 7.5% on the week and 14.9% for the month. We've talked about that thing a few times. It is like a layer 2 or a layer 1 on BTC, if you will. Pippin. I don't know why anybody cares about this coin, but they do. They definitely do. On the year, it's up 786%. So you got to love that. Folks, I don't know anything about this coin, but it's up 25.1% today. And shout out to everybody who's in the chat. Thank you for being here on a Monday. Let's hop right into it. So BTC sitting at 86,608, and it went as low as 83,797. Call it 83,800. And yeah, we thought that we were kind of done with this behavior. And by we, I mean the sentiment in the market, not like me personally or, our group. But I certainly was hoping that that could be true. Ethereum is sitting at $2,800. XRP, $2. BNB, $826, $28 as it changes on me. Solana, $127. Solana getting real low. Dogecoin, 13.5 cents. Cardano, 38 cents. What else do we care about here? Chainlink, $12. Hyperliquid, $30.62. XLM, 23 cents. Monero, $404. HBAR, 13 cents. Avalanche $12.86, and of course Sweet at $1.35. They are absolutely just crushing everything right now. What is up with that? Are we in the bear market? So Christine Morals says, shout out to Underground Crypto putting in work. Lifers taking over the whole space, baby. 777. Absolutely. Proud lifer here, and many more in chat. Thank you. Welcome in. Welcome in. I haven't seen that name before, so definitely welcome in. And smash that like button and subscribe. So there's our usual rundown again. Bitcoin's chilling at 86,635. This is not a TA show. This is everything else in complement to the Lifer show. How many of you guys watch the Lifer this morning? Underground Man, how is my Flare? Oh, yeah, how could we forget about Flare? Let's go take a look at Flare real quick. Should be able to find it if we just scroll down a little bit here. And this is usually kind of how we kick off the show while we wait for everybody. It's number 98, so it's still in the top 100s. It's 1 cent. It's only down in the last 7 days, 1.8%. Of course, it's down 5% in the last 24 hours. But I would not really expect it to be green right now because not a lot of stuff in the market really is. Said if you're not on 3 different accounts getting these likes up for Underground, you ain't living right. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that greatly. Yeah, everybody who's out there, if you have multiple YouTubes, just make sure they're all subscribed. I'd really appreciate that. Jerome Powell has been live boring speech. Oh, is he live right now? Didn't even realize that. I mean, are there any of his speeches that aren't boring? Is that even possible? He's Jerome Powell. That man is dry as, you know, something's very dry as the desert, I guess you would say. Stereotypical there. Cool, thank you, my kind sir. Holding strong, he says. Love that. So, Monad is doing its thing. Does seem to be on a downtrend there. Pippin, we're looking at what is trending for anybody who doesn't know how this show usually runs. We're looking at what's trending. Rayless, we've gone over that a couple times. Probably worth looking at again. Folks, I don't really know anything about Folks. That thing just took off. Fear and Greed Index, and we'll come back to those in a minute. The Fear and Greed Index at 23. I thought this was interesting, right? Didn't really seem like the Fear and Greed Index fell down a lot. Let's refresh it. Just make sure we have the latest information. Yeah. So yesterday it says it was 24. And today it's 23. I mean, for as much kind of pullback and crash as we've had today, I'm kind of really surprised. And this is the Fear and Greed in like a charted form. Let's look at it in the last year. Yeah. A little bit of dip, a little bit of pump, but nothing too crazy there. I mean, it only goes to 100, right? All right. So let's go look at Crypto Rank and what they have trending. Make sure that we have a good pulse on what is trending. If there's any new projects out we need to be paying attention to. I did have a pretty awesome weekend. I still will post some things from the bands. It was a lot to try to film, and it was just a whole scenario. If you see the video, you'll see what I'm talking about. It was a very tight place. They had people in there, you know, they had a sound guy, they had a visual guy, and then they had another guy come in who was recording all of it. The recordings came out really great. For my buddy's band, 2 of his bands, and then of course, yeah, it's just a lot going on, but I'll post some videos. And also tonight, it won't be a short stream, but I will be hopping out of here probably just a little bit before 10 o'clock as my buddy is in from Texas, and I only have tonight to try to catch up with him for a couple hours before he leaves and goes back to Texas, so they weren't here very long. Anyways, enough of that. Let's talk about crypto. Telcoin is one that came on the radar a couple weeks ago, and it really did rip at first. Canton Network, we've talked about several times, but it's staying really relevant, so maybe we want to keep talking about that. Dash, an old coin. What else do we want to look at here? Sui says it's trending down. That joke never gets old. USD1, of course, is the stable coin of World Liberty Finance. What is this? First Digital USD, of course. It is a stable coin, not the most interesting thing to look at, but I would like to know whose stable coin it is. And then over here we have this Iris. We've looked at that several times. Rayless, Aztec. You know, it's a new group of coins that we are paying attention to. 10 or Obscure. Bit Dealer. I want to say Bit Defender. I'm pretty sure it's like an antivirus, right? Plume Network is not new. Hyperliquid not new. Aster. This Exion. Did we look at that before? I can't remember. And Rayolab. So we do have quite a few things to look at. Kind of want to look at the two interesting things. Oh, Rayless was one of them. So we'll go ahead and check that off the list now. Maxlog says this thing came out today. So we have been looking at this prior to its token generation event. So if you want to look at things literally before the token even comes out, our deep dive research show definitely produces a lot of coins before they come out. So 38.4 million in market cap here, 10 billion tokens, 1.5 in circulating supply. That's the only number that really matters right now. And it's chilling at about 2.5 cents. Again, December 1st is today. So this thing, token generated event, TGE. Burn that into your minds. Raise that crypto IQ. Smash the like button and join the Discord. There's a link in the chat. Has an Ethereum contract and a BNB smart contract. It's a layer 1 real world asset, proof of stake, a Binance Alpha Spotlight, of course, real world asset protocol. These are tags, categories, if you will, that are given on CoinGecko. Let's take a look at their Twitter and see how much attention they're getting. I don't really remember where they were at before. Yeah, 387.8 thousand followers. That is not too shabby. Are they real followers? Are they bots? I don't know. Today marks the first step in moving global liquidity into transparent, programmable infrastructure. We talked the other day about how maybe a lot of transparency is hurting crypto in the sense that a lot of big money doesn't want to come in and have everybody front run and see all their moves and stuff all the time. They like lurking in the shadows like traditional finance. You can go over the counter, you can be private, nobody knows what you're doing. So the important thing to me here is 387.8 thousand followers, and the pin post is only from 13 hours ago and has 100,000 impressions. That's good ratio from followers to impressions, and in 13 hours, that's pretty good. Not even 24 hours old. A lot of pin posts on Twitter for projects are weeks old, you know, if not months old. And they don't have as much as this. So anyways, let's close that out. Actually go look at their website. So the blockchain for banks. It's all coming back to me now. It's all coming back to me. Built to bring 100 trillion liquidity. That's crazy. Think about it. I have no idea if they have the ability to make that happen. Very bold claim. And 100 trillion, what is the entire crypto market right now? I could actually look it up. Is only 3 trillion. We were at one point up to 4 trillion. Wow, we really lost $1 trillion in market cap overall. That's crazy. I didn't realize it had gotten that bad. Built to bring 100 trillion liquidity and 6 billion bank customers on chain. Rayless is a scalable private and public blockchain for financial institutions and individuals with native compliance, governance controls, and quantum safe privacy preservation. So quantum safe, they even have that in their Rolodex here. That's pretty interesting. Now, there's so many of these people bringing all the traditional finance in, all these different projects and stuff. It's just really hard to believe that this space is just going to dry up, disappear, not matter anymore. All the tech advances and all the things that could be done with blockchain technology, you're just going to throw it out the window, and they're just not going to do it. You know, they're just going to do something else. Like, I just don't see it. But we're all wondering, timeline. When is the timeline on this thing, right? Is the bear market in? Is the bull market over? Yet to be seen. I'm holding on. Real world assets driving institutional growth into DeFi. So there you go. I mean, that's really all you need to know. Institutionals growing into DeFi. Are they pushing it down because they're coming in and they want really good prices? Don't know. So much speculation. It's impossible to know what is true and what isn't true. Connecting DeFi innovations to bank liquidity. So big liquidity coming in. That is Rayless, the blockchain for banks. And the other one that I want to look at is this Folks. I don't know anything about it, but it does seem really interesting. November 6, 2025 was its token generation event. 173 million in market cap. Max supply 50 million coins. 12.4 of those are out in circulating supply. 12.4 million, that is. And it's up 264% on the max chart, which again was only from November 6, 2025. And it is number 295 by market cap at $13.92. It soared today. Just today, it's up 27.5%. So it's almost at $14. It has an Avalanche contract and a whole, I'm not even going to read all of these. You guys can see them. Polygon, Monad, like it has a ton of different ones. Glad to see it on Monad. And it is finance. They must have a good product, or they just did some really good marketing maybe. Let's go look at their Twitter before we get to their website. Thank you, Chris. Chris Goss says, smash the like button. He is a lifer doing work. Enough said. Thank you. Appreciate you saying that. Folk Finance. I do feel like we've been over this coin before. It's kind of coming back to me here. Lynn Barrow Stake. They've got 126.1 thousand followers with 1.7 in their main community here. Pin post 121,000 from November 6. Looks like Folk is here. Okay, so this lines up with their token generation event, right? Keep that in mind. Really good stuff. I mean, almost 100% interaction if you look at the ratio between followers. Good stuff. All right, let's look at the website. See if it comes back to me. Feel like we've been over this before, but maybe we haven't. Decline all the cookies. Folk Finance is a community-driven, decentralized platform providing permissionless DeFi tools across multiple networks. You can get started. Available on a ton of different places, from Say to Avalanche to, even Monad, which they must have added that recently because Monad hasn't really been out that long. Folks Airdrop. You can visit the website. They have a website specifically for their airdrop, huh? Okay, this is a video. Yeah, sure. Go. So this is the Web3 version. Why is this like blurred out? Reveal your folks' reward. Okay, I don't think I have any. I've interacted, to my knowledge, not at all with this. Very interesting. Well, there is airdrop going on. I don't know how long it's going to go on for, but I like it. So exchange, swap, deposit, and borrow assets across multiple networks using Folks as your portfolio's hub. Pretty cool. Everything getting more interoperable. We have our abstraction, ideas. We have our intent layer ideas. I hope you guys are following along at home when it comes to that stuff. In our crypto IQ raising events that we've been having, we've been learning about all kinds of stuff about the way blockchain works and all kinds of innovations and stuff that are coming. I hope you guys have been enjoying that. Certainly hope you guys have been taking notes. This is Mystery Monday, so we're very much just catching up over the weekend, as I did not stream over the weekend. All right, let's close that out. Bang. So that's Folks. Not a whole lot to say there. It's much like a lot of financial products, but it seems very well connected. Very well connected, and I like that. Interoperable, if you would. All right, so let's come back over here. Let's touch on a few times. Telcoin we've been over. It's not a new coin or anything. It's just worth at least reading you the description, right? Telcoin is a cryptocurrency that is designed to be used for mobile payments. There you go. Is it X402 narrative? Let's find out. Doesn't say X402 narrative, but let's see what their website says. So building the internet of money, I thought we already had that. Telcoin is revolutionizing global finance by uniting blockchain technology, digital banks, and telecommunications. I mean, I could certainly see a huge use for this. I don't think a lot of people who, especially people in America, don't realize how many people are still using like mobile minutes. One for mobile, but also for using mobile minutes as like a currency. A lot of countries, a lot of really poor countries are still doing that. So I see a lot of room for them to revolutionize, and I see a lot of people who'd want to use it. If it was cheaper, everybody would move over to it. It'd be very interesting. So Telcon remittance, reimagining remittances for digital first borderless world. Send money to a growing list of leading e-wallets and mobile money platforms globally with digital assets balanced or your connected bank. Okay, it's really interesting. I mean, couldn't you already send XRP pretty much anywhere to anybody who has internet and a wallet for almost nothing? Very interesting. You'd be really surprised the obstacles that you run into, though, when you are in, say, and I'm just throwing random stuff out there. I haven't traveled the world, so I don't know. But say like you're in Thailand or you're just in Haiti, you know, how hard is it to get an XRP wallet on the type of phones that they have there? I don't know. So 496.4 million in its market cap. This thing has a lot of money in it. I do remember it having a nice run at one point. It's got to be this right here. Look at that. Draw it on here. Like, look at this. Big uprise there. All right. So, just wanted to point that out because I have seen that thing on the radar over and over again. How's everybody doing out there? How was your weekend? Tell me how your weekend was in the chat if you would. And it's really just, you know, I want to see what this USD, who owns this one. But it's really disappointing to see the market do this again, but understand that today is Monday, and it's very typical for the low of the week to happen on Monday. So keep that in mind. All is not lost, and we recovered a lot. If you think that we went all the way down to 83,000, even say 83,700, very close. And we rallied from that time. We've rallied all the way back to 87,300 and something. And we're chilling right now at 86,680 at this very moment. So I don't think it's all over. It scares the heck out of everybody. It's yet to be seen. Melissa says she's doing good. I did see you said you were out of work today. So glad that you got off in time to be a part of the stream. 1.4 billion in market cap here. And I actually, Melissa, I wrote down the two projects, Off Grid and Addressable, that you put in the Discord. So everybody knows I am paying attention to the Discord. And when you guys put stuff, we'll go over it. It seemed pretty cool. We'll dig into it a little bit more. Iris, I'm just going to touch on this real quick. We want to stay up to date here. Iris is an EVM compatible layer 1 for permanent data storage, smart contract execution, and storage proofs. So storing actual proofs, and proofs already improve storage. 3 trillion in data undiscovered until now. So they feel like they have a huge market in data that they're going to bring even more. Because I mean, there's other people in crypto who do data, right? Think of oracles and all kinds of stuff. I'm not sure exactly where they sit in that. I don't think they're an oracle, right? They just say that they do data storage faster, cheaper, and with a native execution layer. That part is actually really important. That makes data programmable. So programmable data, if you will. We've gone over this whole website. The website is pretty cool looking, but don't get tricked by cool websites, guys. There's plenty of ruggers that had really awesome websites, and we're still ruggers. They just got more people, right? All right. So let's go back and look at something else. Rayless, we already went over. Aztec, as far as I know, no token generation event yet for Aztec, but they have raised a crap ton of money, 52.3 million. That's a decent amount of money. It's all about a private ZK rollup on Ethereum, enabling decentralized applications to access privacy and scalability. I mean, what is the name of the game right now in development? It's privacy, it's scalability, it's, you know, a lot of everything being built on Ethereum right now, layer 2s and stuff. It's just seems to be what everybody is really focused on, which maybe tells me that that's where the most need is. They had an interesting website. What I really liked is that they kind of point out your problem, and then they kind of told you how they were going to solve the problem. So I'm just going to read this part right here. This is Aztec. Enforced transparency is holding blockchain back. Now, this is what I was just referencing a minute ago. This is their claim, right? This is not my words, not financial advice, yada yada. I'm not a financial advisor. So without end-to-end privacy, real-world asset and players will never fully come on chain. We don't have it, so we don't have that. Today's privacy is pretend. I thought this was a really big, bold claim, right? Centralized sequencers, backdoors, and TEEs will never meet our bar. We don't need an add-on. We need real end-to-end system. It needs to be flexible, right? So privacy can't be all or nothing. And I think this is really important because something that you don't really hear a lot of people talk about, right? It's rather privacy coin or it's not. It's transparent. But they're saying builders need to be able to program privacy at different levels and layers that make sense for their projects. And it needs to be easy for developers to do is kind of the next part there. I just like that they pointed out what the problem is, and then they actually told you very quickly and simply how they want to solve it. So privacy can be programmed in different places at different layers, and it's not black and white. Too many people are black and white on almost every issue, and it's kind of sad. And of course, you could get into a lot more of the technicalities. We've read these before. I'm not going to bore everybody with that right now. We are waiting on a token generation event for this. I don't think that we have anything on an airdrop from this right now. It does say potential, fill in the form node. Does this, if I click it enough times, do you think it'll take me somewhere? Maybe. Yo, Camsta's always so funny. He says, hey, yo, sorry I'm late. My mother-in-law decided to have a birthday. Well, that's hilarious. Well, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. No information on an airdrop for Aztec as of yet. There's no token generation event and stuff, so a lot of times there's not a lot of information out. So this is Obscuro, or 10, if you will. And 10 is a decentralized layer 2 for Ethereum. It's like Arbitrum or Optimism, except it also uses secure enclave technology. I wrote this down. I want to dig into enclave technology a little bit. I don't really know exactly what it is. It might even be foreshadowing our topic of the day tomorrow, but I got to see if it's a good topic first, if there's enough. If it's just like enclave is, you know, a simple sentence and there's nothing to really give you more like if there's not really a deep subject, then we're not going to go over it. Anyways, enclave technology to also allow for encrypted data and state on the platform, state being like storage, right? 10 offers the same functionality as Ethereum and indeed leverages Ethereum's security, except it also solves the following problems. Encryption. Encrypting Ethereum will create an explosive in the use case Ethereum can support. An explosion in the use case that Ethereum can't support. Things like on-chain gaming with hidden maps, decentralized or DEXs, decentralized exchanges with private limit orders, NFTs with hidden content, and pretty much any Web2 application can be ported over. MEV, we've talked about this. Maximal extractable value. That's what MEV stands for. Moving value back into end users' hands by maintaining an encrypted mempool. We did a whole show on encrypted mempools. You can see why this stuff is important and very cutting edge. These projects rolling out are built off of these ideas, right? And then, of course, the last one, or last two, scalability. 10 has developed a novel protocol, proof of block inclusion. Don't know that I ever heard of that. We have read this before, but I didn't read all of it. Proof of block inclusion, or POBI for short. Do like to make sure that I understand what is proof of liquidity, stuff like that. Proof of work, proof of stake, everybody seems to know, but there's things like proof of liquidity, proof of useful liquidity, proof of useful stake. What is the difference? Enabling it to scale massively, and of course gas with no proof of work, and by leveraging proof of block inclusion, gas on 10 is a fraction of what it is on L1s. People will like that, right? Very interesting. 1.3 million in market cap. This thing is absolutely tiny. It didn't want to let me go to the website. Now I remember that part. And it's very rare, actually, that my antivirus doesn't let me go to websites. It's not like it's like highly sensitive and shuts everything down all the time. So that part is a little bit interesting. Camsta says, got some nice steak, shrimp, and oysters out of it, though. Hey, that's always great. Did Jerome unleash the rate cuts? No idea. Or will the crypto massacre continue? XMR, folks, the only coin that tells the market, you do you and I'll do me. I don't know if it's the only one that does that, but I mean, it's a privacy coin. Do we believe that it's really private? Like that there's no actual ability for governments to look at? I don't know. You wouldn't know if there was something built in there, right? So what is Dealer, right? BitDealer is an asset-backed meme launchpad. And that's really all there is to say there. Unlike traditional meme tokens that rely purely on hype, each token launched through BitDealer is paired with real game asset that drive liquidity, trading depth, and community adoption. So it sounds like they're trying to do a little bit better on the meme launch pool, trying to improve pump.fund maybe. But if you look, the market says they hate it. That's all I have to report here. It looks like the market hates this coin. I'm just kidding. Of course, everything is down right now, but it does look like people sold it off hard. Maybe it didn't deliver what it was supposed to deliver, right? 6.6 million in market cap. It is a meme launchpad. If you didn't catch that, it looks pretty cool. You could buy a drunk dinosaur. And again, I talk about these things all the time. Art is art, and all of that is great and all, but there's so much of it, that it almost becomes like, what is the point? Like, if you grab one of these, I mean, I was hoping for a website. I don't know this launchpad well at all, so I don't know where their website for their tokens are, but like, there has to be utility for an NFT project. And of course, obviously, I would like to see, a lot of use case for these coins in general, maybe NFT projects to go along with them, and you just don't see it a lot of the time. And I think that's why people are starting to really lack caring about just the average meme coins. I mean, to be honest with you, I think we're well past that. I think that's already happened a long time ago. Blues Guy says, hope you had a great week and Underground, lots of fun. Good to see you back. Thank you. I had an awesome weekend. Met tons of people. Just not really networking for me. It was more networking for my brother because he's in multiple bands and all of them are musicians. I do my thing with some music for sure, but they're in a whole different world of things. Talking about tons of like gear and stuff like that. Get a little lost in their conversation because I don't really know a whole lot about, recording equipment and stuff like that. And they're all very analog too. Like, they're not using modern stuff at all. So that's really interesting. Let's talk about Xion. So Burnt Xion is a layer 1 blockchain with no gas fee, enabling easy, fast transaction, credit card usage, and simple logins. I like that they threw credit card usage in there, right? Because they have no fee. That would be awesome for a credit card, wouldn't it? Raised 25 million, at least in this Series A funding round. Looks like you can buy it on Bitmart. Definitely a link to Bitmart in the description. Didn't see it listed in your normal places. You're not going to buy this on Coinbase, that's for sure. Let's go take a look at their website. So verifying anything. Yeah, I think we did look at this. A digital world of lies and broken trust, deceit and treachery. No, I added that actually. We're creating an internet where truth is easily verifiable, connections are authentic, and content is real. Best of luck to them. That's going to be hard to pull off. So North Face, Fortnite. I don't. It says trusted by. I mean, you know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see a project like this who throws like all of these different, like Amazon and BMW. Like, can you tell us where they're using your product and to what extent and like, and what, you know, like they've actually integrated into Amazon in some form or fashion, even if it was small, or like they had a talk with somebody high up in it, and you know they had an interview. That's totally different. So trust needs to be every day. We work with the world's top companies to bring the net back to life by proving what's real. Make verification fast, easy to use. Okay, so if you believe that they work with Fortnite, Rivals, NordVPN, Amazon, BMW, then, and I don't know the answer to this, Uber, right, North Face, then when we go back, right now we're going to go back, and we're going to look at its market cap. $16 million. I mean, come on. What do they provide their service for their product to all those huge companies for free? And I'm not trying to call them out here, you know, just hear me out, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. How do you not even have $100 million market cap and you've got Amazon, you know, somehow integrated in using your product? It must be in a very small, insignificant way. They have tons of money. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me when I see those big, bold claims and then super tiny market caps. I mean, unless they just have a treasury and they're just not putting any money in their market cap. I don't know. They're not buying any of their own token. Yeah, sounds like a load of horse crap to me. Yeah, I would absolutely agree with you. What is I missed all kinds of stuff here. All right. So we'll keep moving on. That was this X-Ion. I don't know how much I would trust it. When they come out making these crazy bold claims, that just throws me off a little bit. Or it could be crazy undervalued. Don't know. Looks like no token generation event for this Rhea Labs, aka Volts. Rhea Network is a trading optimized modular layer 2 solution. Again, lots of key words there. Trading optimized, right? Modular. Well, the whole point of modularity is to make things very niched or optimized, and they're doing it for trading, right? It addresses liquidity fragmentation, front running, and performance issues by optimizing its ecosystem specifically for trading needs. And remember, front running would be MEV. That would be a MEV attack to front run. The network uses passive liquidity pools to share liquidity across exchanges, improving market depth and reduce fragmentation. I mean, if you're trying to sell and they're able to get some money from other exchanges to fulfill your, you know, cash out, you'd be very happy about it, right? So what do we got here going on for the news? Let's jump over into that for just a moment. Yeah, Kamsa says they will get sued for putting those brand logos up there, cease and desist. Yeah, maybe they will, or maybe they're not going to be around long enough to really even matter. I don't know. Crypto markets in a big drop, widespread panic, and institutional sell-off. The broader crypto market has suffered a heavy sell-off in late November, early December, that would just be now, with a collapse wiping out over $1 trillion in market cap. And we naturally already came to that conclusion, didn't we? Bitcoin fell below 86K on December 1st, and Ethereum dropped 7%, dragging many major altcoins down with it. Analysts highlight rising macroeconomic headwinds, leveraged positions, liquidations, weak demand for spot Bitcoin ETFs, which is really funny because they say this weak demand for spot Bitcoin ETFs, and they turn around and say that institutional and legacy finance shifts their stance, right, as they are seeing more money, and I'm going to read it in a minute, more money coming in from Bitcoin ETFs than a lot of their traditional things that they already sell, right, and risk-off sentiment as major triggers, right. But then it immediately comes down here and says institutional and legacy finance shift, big firms changing stance on crypto. Vanguard has ended its long-standing crypto ban. From December 2nd, it will allow trading of regulated crypto funds, including BTC, ETH, XRP, Solana, and others. This will open regulated crypto access for its millions of brokerage clients. So Vanguard, as of tomorrow, is opening up access. Think about it. That's interesting. Maybe they brought it down so their clients could get in at decent prices, right? Meanwhile, BlackRock, whose crypto ETF business has surged, is now said to derive more revenue from its Bitcoin ETFs than from several of its traditional asset classes, underscoring how deeply institutional money has integrated crypto into mainstream finance. So the integration is upon you, and the market's dipping and they're trying to get everybody to sell. That is my opinion, not financial advice. They are slowly coming around. Yeah. Feels like we've seen million coins like that one. Yeah, Cam said we definitely have. It's nothing to make a coin a website and throw out some big bold claims, right? Pay somebody who knows how to do a website a little bit of money, and I mean a little bit. What, $5,000? They'll do a lot for $5,000, and which is a tiny bit amount of money if you're rugging for millions. You know what I'm saying? And get them to build something that looks decent. Be careful out there. Enforcement and regulatory risk. Right, impact on illicit crypto infrastructure. It's got to be more about Europe, right? Immediately you see the euro, right? Europol shuts down crypto mixer, seizing 25 million in Bitcoin. That doesn't seem like that much money compared to the numbers we're used to talking about, right? There's meme coins with 25 million in it, right? 3 servers and over 12 terabytes of data. Crypto Mixer reportedly laundering over 1.3 billion. That's more like it. That's a number I would expect to see. Since 2016, a major win for law enforcement and a blow to money launderers. Everybody knows about Tornado Cash, right? Then what trending right now? So project sentiments and crypto Twitter buzz. According to recent data, the top trending cryptocurrencies in the U.S. on social media interest are Zora. Chart is Meow on Zora. That may be worth looking into. I'm going to write that down. I feel like I've seen that somewhere. That's why I wanted to write it down. On broader top coins to watch, invest amid the down run, many still highlight big caps like BTC. You know, all your big caps here, from Dogecoin to Tron to Chainlink. I don't need to read all that. Given the crash, many investors seem to be scanning for bargains or dip buy opportunities, both among big established coins or smaller meme high risk. Yeah, I think everybody here is well aware of that. Other major crypto industry news and macro context: the upcoming reorganization of regulatory oversight in the U.S., the nomination process to install a new chair at the committee, Futures Trading Commission, the CFTC, is underway, bringing focus on how crypto regulation and oversight may evolve. I think we were all here pretty much aware of that. So on the technological and institutional integration front, the environment remains mixed. Rising adoption in traditional finance coexists with caution on regulatory and macro fronts. This tug of war may continue to shape price action, and long-term structural changes for investors and content creators. While the crash wears on sentiment short-term, such drawdown, here I messed it up, often sparks renewed interest in real use case or utility tokens versus hype coins. I mean, we're always looking more to real use case and utility tokens. Hype coins don't do much for me, meaning long tail projects. I don't know if I've ever heard anybody ever say long tail projects or narrative driven plays may start generating fresh cycles of attention. Well, there's some hopium for you. I hope so. And that looks like that is that. $1 trillion down, Bitcoin's under 85,000, and Vanguard is going to let people come in. And that starts tomorrow. I think that's really interesting. I'll be looking to see if we get like a pickup tomorrow, because I think it's interesting that tomorrow is the day that Vanguard's going to start letting their regular TradFi people invest in these ETFs with their money that they have on their platforms and stuff. I think that is important. We will see, though. We will see. Oh, wow. They need you 7 days a week. It's always at the same venue. What is going on? Oh, he's asking Melissa what she does. Okay, yeah. Broadway conventions. I was just asking her that the other day in the voice chat. So let's look at a few things that Melissa had brought up. Off-grid. And she's always looking at these very early coins. I can never seem to find a website on Gecko Terminal. I don't know what is up with that. So let's look at this thing somewhere else, maybe. Yeah, I'm not getting anything for it. I mean, I can find it on Gecko Terminal, but I don't know if this is the right one or anything like that. Market cap is 2.5 thousand. Super tiny. I don't even know if I have the right one, so we'll see. Let's see, because this one has 200. Oh, that's 27,000. I think we almost want to look at it more at like Deck Screener. Melissa, do you spend a lot of time on Deck Screener or something? Where are you pulling these tokens from? I'm getting no results for off-grid. It's probably me. I should just go back and look at what you would put. All right. Cryptardo put something interesting, and he says he is the dev for some meme coin. It's interesting. Does seem like a biased opinion, though. All right, let's bring up what she said. Off-grid. Looking for a ticker. What is the ticker for off-grid here? Looks like these were all screenshots were pulled from Twitter. So that is where we should go. Let's go to X. Yeah, there you go. She was saying the same thing. It is on Twitter. I don't like that I'm not seeing them anywhere else. It's kind of very interesting. You have one with a blue check mark, one that doesn't. This is off-grid cash. It has a blue check mark, and one that does not. These look like extremely tiny projects. Would be very careful about them, honestly. And it's just about an app where you're off-grid. You know, no KYC, encrypted card app that actually works. Load crypto, spend it anywhere, no ID. This is off-grid. We'll have to keep a lookout for this thing. I mean, I'm sure it's super cheap right now, but you are basically gambling like, you know, you would be at a casino when it comes to a lot of this stuff. The other one was addressable, and I don't know why I closed Twitter because that's probably where I should pull that one from too. And then I want to look at that meme, meow, on Zora. So we got 8.9 thousand followers. This is a little bit bigger of a product. Said the market is accelerating. Your old, slow, and imprecise marketing stack is an imprecise marketing stack is now a liability. Okay, I see what they're saying. Our November product update is here to fix that. It's built for two things, speed and precision, a thread on a new standard of on-chain marketing. So this is all about marketing, it looks like. 98% of visitors leave your dApp without connecting their wallet. Yeah, of course they do, because I'm just looking at it. In Web 2, you'd retarget them. In Web 3, you let them vanish. Okay, so we're really talking about marketing here. This is the single biggest leak in your funnel. We build the fix wallet-based retargeting, identifying the wallets, visiting your site. I don't know that. I get it. I definitely get it. But if I never connect a wallet, I don't know how you're gonna. Yeah. I don't know. This is very interesting to me because from my understanding of funnels and stuff, it makes a lot of sense from a Web 2 format and idea. But once you get into Web 3, if somebody doesn't connect their wallet, like, what are you going to do? You're going to use the data, you know what I mean, that you get to send them ads, of course, like you would in Web 2, but I don't see how the wallet address even really helps you with that. Because you can't, like, advertise to their specific wallet. You get what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe you get it, maybe you don't. It seems like it's cool. It might be something deeper there that I'm not understanding. Let's hop back over to our crypto bubbles. We are chilling at 9:30, an hour into the stream. And really, we're just hopping in here to say hello to everybody. It's Monday. Tomorrow, we'll have a better crypto IQ raising event. Hopefully, we pump tomorrow, and there's a nice big surge in the market. That's what I'm really looking for. It's not typical, once again, from all the TA and all the weeks of, false move Monday that I've watched. It's super not common for Monday to set the low in the market, right? So there's not a whole lot more to go over here. We've covered news. We've covered what's trending. Oh, you know what we haven't? We haven't looked at top gainers, top losers yet. Let's do that real quick. Also wanted to look at this meow before we even get there. So, I don't know. There's a lot of these meows. Meow on Zora. Okay, well, that's pretty specific right here. Very small market cap. Base contract. You can go to Zora. It's probably like $1 bajillion on Zora. Yep, 745,000. I don't even know what that means at this point. I don't think it means they have $745,000. And as I look at their account, I have literally no idea why this is even popular. They're just looks like spamming a lot of stuff about base. Maybe a lot of trendy stuff here. They must just be very active and posting a lot. That's my takeaway here. Okay, so whoever he is something. Chris Johnson, a PhD, call him Mr. Lightspeed, CoinMarketCap, KOL, and CT, Voice of Reason. Retired USAF Lieutenant Colonel, very interesting. At Lightspeed Crypto Service, he blends discipline, insight, and sharp takes. So he's affiliated with this Lightspeed project. Very interesting. And a Zora Maxi. I really didn't want to go to that. Cool. I'm personally not very interested, but it probably will do well. I like that the tokens on Zora, like the profile is literally treated as its own token, and that token, if it gets big, can literally show up on coin market cap, CoinGecko, crypto rank. That's just really interesting. All right, actually managed to mute the microphone before I sneeze. So I hope everybody's having a good week. I hope that this hasn't shaked you up too much. Hope some of you even maybe caught a short here. I forgot I was fighting the boss over here. And yeah, I'm still hoping for some kind of airdrop here. Oh man, what are they doing to me? Need more chests. Trying to find that box at the boss drop. There it is. All right, all right. Well, anybody have anything going on today? How do you guys feel about Jerome Powell? I really didn't follow what he had to say today closely at all. When did he even talk? Like, it seemed like he was like maybe he was on really late or something. Somebody said he was still talking or something right when I got on. That seems very odd to me. It's kind of late New York time for him to be doing an interview anywhere. Yep, Campsta says only short-term trades. The ones I set for the day always get wiped out. Yeah, scalping is pretty much where it's at right now. Like yesterday, man. Yeah, I hope you didn't lose too much. Thought you said you lost like 350. And then later it seemed like you only lost like 125 or something. I'm not quite sure what was going on there. All right. Oh man, the next boss came in so quickly. It's crazy. I am fast, very fast now. Oh wow, way to get absolutely stuck on the box and lose. Damn. That sucks. Yeah, man, I remember Bankroll telling me I was crazy, my leverage was too high. I said it by accident, but they hit his liquidation too. No, I lost 350 something USD in total. Wow. If you're up, I remember you saying you were up like $100 at one point, and then you set a stop loss, and then you moved your stop loss down. If you're going to move your stop loss down, then it really defeats the whole purpose of putting your stop loss in profit. So, yeah, on a lot of exchanges, when you move that stop loss into profit, you very much have like an order, right? They get rid of your old order for your old stop loss because they're technically orders on the books, right? And so there's even fees associated with that. So if you're going to bother to move your stop loss and do that stuff so much, and every exchange is a little bit different how hard they hit you for it, but it's a little bit usually because you are paying fees on those orders that are placed and put into the order book, and then when they're taken off. Not an expert on that, but I've noticed that before. So if you're going to bother to move your stop loss up and set that stop loss and pay the fees, even if they're small, definitely don't move them all back down. I don't know. That's my opinion. You do what you want to do. I know you probably agree and already, want to do that. I've been in that place before of moving the stop loss. I've straight up, like, it starts tanking and I realize like I'm going to lose like, a little bit of money there, and I'll just like, in the past I don't do it anymore, but I'll just like delete my stop loss. Don't recommend it. Very few times has that really played out in my favor. So yeah, take that for what you want. Be hopping off in a minute. Like I said, I have my buddy. He is in from Texas, like the town over, with his family, and he leaves tomorrow, I'm pretty sure. So kind of want to see him before he leaves, even if it's just for a couple hours. I'm gonna hop off here in a minute. Definitely not gonna finish this round of this. All the upgrades have been kind of garbage. Wow, keep getting a lot of those, huh? Blues guy, not tonight. I'm gonna hop off. We'll definitely play some Panzer Dog tomorrow. I want to go, like I just said, see my buddy at town over before he leaves tomorrow. It's the holidays. There's a lot of that kind of stuff going on. Said I lost 25 on my last buy in to lower my liquidation. Ah, man. So one thing that I learned a lot about but have never really been able to figure out is the mitigation. Because it seems like you need, I don't know, the way they explain it is like you have $100 and you're in, right? And you're down, you know, close to your liquidation. Like putting $100 more in will do something significant because you've added 100% of the position to the position. Maybe I just didn't understand it well. It does absolutely nothing. I could put $500 into a $100 position and it'll do nothing. I don't exactly understand it, to be honest with you. It always seems like on like a $200 position, to mitigate yourself out of it, I'd need like $5,000. I'm sure that's not right. Like that's definitely not right, but it's just really weird how it never seems to make any difference. Like I'll have like a $50 position and I'll add like $300 to it when I'm down, and it doesn't seem to do much for my liquidation. Not like you would think it would. I don't know. I gotta retake that or rewatch those videos. I'm talking about Master Friend and Lifer's thing. I mean, what he does is amazing, and I see him win a lot. He's the leverage master, right? So, I mean, that class is worth taking. Honestly, Camsta, you might want to consider that, right? Think about how much money you lost, $350. Think about how much better you might have did if you would have chose to spend that money on real education versus just throwing yourself at the market and hoping you figure it out. I think you could over time figure it out. I just think you'd spend a crazy amount of money, and it might take you 15 years. I highly would recommend, for what you're doing is literally what the Leverage Mastery class with Master Friend and Lifers group. I think you're kind of new to Lifer, so maybe you don't know who I'm talking about. It's the only other person in, I would say the only other person like in Lifer's business, you know, that he allows into his business like that as a complimentary thing, because he's the guy. They're close. For one, they're good friends, or have become good friends, and for two, the guy just crushes it with leverage. It's his if you hear them talk about Turtle Soup or the money printer model and stuff like that, that's who they're talking about. That's what they're talking about. It does seem really cool. I've used the money printer model many times. It definitely works. That guy has a lot of experience in the market, just like Sam does. Anyways, I'll leave that there. You can check it out if you want to. It does cost money. Forget what I paid for it. But the cool thing about the Leverage Mastery, last thing I'll say about it, is that it's a one-time fee. Like, you pay for it, and you kind of get access to him forever, right? You get a YouTube that's like a private YouTube that only if you have the link can you even go to, kind of thing. And then he does classes, I think multiple times a week now. So you do get a lot for your money, and it's a one-time fee instead of having to continually pay month to month. So that part's cool. But you do have to pay. That's the catch-22. You do have to pay the Lifers Discord in order to keep access to it. So it is going to cost you $100 a month. But then you get Master Friend and Lifer for $100. It's pretty good. $100 a month. I'm going to go ahead and pause this. Look at the chat. Camsta says it definitely does lower the liquidation price when you put it in. Oh, it lowers it. It just doesn't ever seem to be significant enough. Anyways, it's been a while since I even bothered with that. He said, I've been watching Lifer pretty regularly since I joined the group. That's awesome. I thought they were talking about Orhan. That's hilarious. No, they weren't talking about Orhan. And do you still go to his classes? Are you talking about Lifer's classes or Master Friend's classes? And are you still staying away from Lev now? I just haven't been trading at all. You know, I'm focused on my other business for one, and then of course this business, or call it a business, call it a YouTube channel. Right now I'm not making any money off of it, so I don't know if I really call it a business. But anyways, my point is I'm focused on this long term, my other business long term, and that's just pretty much where I'm at. Oh, he said Master Friend. Yeah, I still check him out quite a bit. I'll see him post on YouTube and I'll go check him out. But if you just search him and you're not in his group and stuff, I don't think that you will I don't think you'll see anything. He's got like a private YouTube as far as I know, unless he's changed it, but I don't think he has, because that's like kind of part of what you pay for, right? You sit and watch one of his classes, you will think different about the market for sure. Sol is up to 127. Is that a big move for you? Got a bunch of leverage on it? What was it, 124 earlier, if my memory serves me right? Anyways, guys, it is 9:40. I'd like to get out the door to go see my buddy. I thank you guys for understanding. It is the holiday season. Trying to find my glasses case. So I'm going to try to keep the things going on where I can't stream to a minimum. This weekend was a planned weekend, right? It didn't happen randomly. I knew that this weekend was coming up. I didn't know Sunday was going to work out the way it did, but we were all the way up in Orlando, and it took a long time to get back, for one, and then for two, there were other things going on. So, yeah. Everybody have a good night. Thank you for being here, and let's hope that crypto turns around tomorrow, and this was just the week low for crypto. Matter of fact, if you watch Master Friend, he talks about the weekly low coming in on a Monday a lot. That's a big part of what he does in his strategy, right? All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off for real instead of saying it 18 more times. Stay underground, stay crypto. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Crypto Ron out.